Hello everyone! And welcome back to Doki Doki Literature Club! This is part 3, I believe, and we're showing our poems to people. We already showed our poem to Natsuki last episode, and she was like, "Damn it, you're so good at poems! Ah!" So now we're gonna show it to... Sayori? Dot dot dot. This is a good poem, Mist. Are you sure it's your first time? Of course. It's not that good. Am I the kind of guy who would be writing poems in his spare time? I guess you're right. But that's why it impressed me. Well, to be honest, I was afraid that you wouldn't do it seriously. Or that you wouldn't write one at all. I'm really happy just that you wrote one. Aww. It just reminds me of how you're really part of the club now. Not to mention the fact that I'm standing in front of you in the club room. Well, of course. I'm not really into it yet, but that doesn't mean I'll break my promise. See? It's like I said before, Mist. Deep down, you're not selfish at all, you know? Yeah, deep, deep down, to the darkest core of my body. Trying new things like this for other people. That's something that only really good people do. Thanks, Sayori. I'm not sure if Sayori sees the full picture of my motive here. Then again, I can't deny she's part of the reason I joined. Aww. Knowing how much this means to her and all. Yeah. And I'm gonna make sure you have lots of fun here, okay? That will be my way of thanking you. Alright, I'm gonna hold you to that then. Yay! Now you'll read my poem too, right? Don't worry, I'm really bad at this. We'll see about that. Dear sunshine, the way you glow through my blinds in the morning, it makes me feel like you've missed me. Kissing my forehead to help me out of bed, making me rub the sleepy from my eyes. Are you asking me to come out and play? Are you trusting me to wish away a rainy day? I look above, the sky is blue. It's a secret, but I trust you too. If it wasn't for you, I could sleep forever, but I'm not mad. I want breakfast. Oh yeah, I remember that. Oh, I remember that. Sayori, this is just a guess, but did you wait until this morning to write this? No! Just a little bit. You can't just answer just a little bit to a yes or no question. I forgot to do it last night. Well, at least that makes me feel a little better about myself. Don't be mean! I still tried my best. Yeah. I didn't mean to say that it was a bad poem. It came out nice, or how should I put it? It sounds just like you. Really? Yeah. Especially that last line. I made eggs and toast! Even though you were late to school? It's bad to skip breakfast. I get all cranky. Well, I guess there's no point in arguing. Anyway, thanks for showing me. This is so much fun. Monika's the best. Yeah. But next time, I won't forget. And I'm gonna write the best poem ever. Well, I guess I look forward to it. Who should I show my poem to next? Yuri. I want to say Yuri, but... Yuri. Dot dot dot. Yuri stares at the poem. She's like, this sounds a lot like Natsuki's writing. A minute passes, more than enough time for her to finish reading. Oh. Sorry. I forgot to start speaking. It's fine. Don't force yourself. I'm not. I just need to put my thoughts into words. Hold on. Okay. This is your first time writing a poem, right? Yeah. Why do you ask? 'Cause all it says is fluffy, bounce, and fluffy. I'm just making sure. I guess that might be after reading through it. So it's that bad. No! Did I just raise my voice? Actually, I made you not raise your voice at all, but... I'm so sorry. Yuri buries her face into her hands. I couldn't help but notice that it's been several minutes and we really haven't gotten anywhere. It might take Yuri a while to get used to new people. It's fine, I really didn't notice. What were you saying? Right, it's just that their specific writing habits are usually typical of new writers. And having been through that myself, I kind of learned to pick up on them. I think the most noticeable thing I recognize in new writers is that they try to make their style very deliberate. Like putting fluffy and bounce and I love Natsuki right in the middle. In other words, they tend to pick a writing style separate from the topic matter, and they form-fit the two together. The end result is that both the style and the expressiveness are weakened. Once Yuri finds her train of thought, it's as if her demeanor totally changes. Her stammering is completely gone, and she sounds like an expert. Of course, that's not something you can be blamed for. There are so many different skills and techniques that go into writing even a simple poem. Not just finding them and building them, but getting them to work together is probably the most challenging part. It might take you some time, but it all comes with practice, and learning by example, and trying new things. I also hope that everyone else in the club gives you valuable feedback. Natsuki can be a little bit biased, though. Biased? How? Well, never mind. I shouldn't be talking about people like that. Sorry. It's fine. Not sure if Yuri is apologizing to herself, or to me, or to Natsuki. Do you mind if I read your poem now? Please do. I'd love to share my thought process behind it. Yuri smiles dreamily, as if that's a rare opportunity for her, which itself is kind of funny. After all, isn't she supposed to be a literature club? Or isn't this supposed to be a literature club? Yuri, the literature club! Ghost under the light. The tendrils of my hair illuminate beneath the amber glow. Bathing. It must be this one. The last remaining street light to have withstood the test of time. The last yet to be replaced by the sickening blue-green hue of the future. I bathe, calm, breathing air of the present but living in the past. The light flickers. I flicker back. And that's it! I'm sorry I have such terrible handwriting. No, it's beautiful! What? I wasn't thinking that at all. And I feel like I had way more, easier time reading it now than I did in the past. But it took you a long time to read. No, it didn't. Well, I just don't read script very often. Yeah, now I do. I actually think your handwriting is pretty. That's a relief. Also, I liked the poem. Even though it's short, it was really descriptive. It wasn't too short? I usually write longer poems. Not at all. I'm really glad you like it. I'll be honest. Since it's our first time sharing, I wanted to write something a little more mild. Something easy to digest, I suppose. Are you into ghosts, Yuri? Actually, the story isn't about a ghost at all, Mist. Really? I must have totally missed the point. Well, I suppose you did only glance over it after all. But remember that poets often express their own thoughts, feelings, and experiences in their work. They usually do more than tell a simple story or paint a picture. In this case, perhaps the subject of the poem is only being symbolically compared to a ghost, lingering in her last remaining place of comfort, unable to let go of the past, and soon to be left with nothing. That's a lot more solemn putting it that way. I hadn't even thought of that. That's impressive. It's nothing, really. Well, it makes me happy that you think that. Just remember that it won't be long before you pick up on these things, too. Yeah, maybe you're right. I guess I'll have to keep trying. Fluffy clouds! I'm counting on you. Yay, okay. Monika. She's gonna be like, why do you always pick me last, Mist? Hi, Mist. Having a good time so far? Yeah. Good. Glad to hear it. By the way, since you're new and everything, if you ever have any suggestions for the club, like new activities or things we can do better, I'm always listening. Don't be afraid to bring things up, okay? Alright, I'll keep that in mind. Of course, I'll be afraid to bring things up. I'm much better off just going with the flow until I'm more settled in. Anyway, want to share your poem with me? It's kind of embarrassing, but I guess I have to. I mean, it does say I love Natsuki right in the middle of it. Don't worry, Mist. We're all a little embarrassed today, you know? But it's that sort of barrier we'll all learn to get past soon. Yeah, that's true. I hand Monika my poem. I like it, Mist. Really? It's a lot cuter than I expected. Oh, jeez. No! It kind of makes me think of something Natsuki would write. And she's a good writer, too. So take that as a compliment. If you say so. Yep. By any chance, have you read anything by Shel Silverstein? Silverstein or Silverstein? Huh? Maybe a long time ago. He's famous for telling all kinds of stories in just a few simple words. His poems can be funny, endearing, or even sad. And sometimes they're only a few lines long. They might even feel like they're written for kids, but if you think about them, they can express views of the world that would apply to anybody. I see. So you're saying that Natsuki is kind of like that? Sort of. Maybe she's not an expert, but you probably won't find much filler in her poems. They might be easy to write, but they're super challenging to get the meaning through. So I can see why it would be your kind of poem to explore. I'm sure I'll end up trying different things a lot. It could take a while before I feel comfortable doing this. That's okay. I'd love to see you try new things. It's the best way to find the kind of style that suits you. Everyone else might be a little biased towards their own kinds of styles, but I'll always help you find what suits you the most. So don't force yourself to write the way everyone else wants you to write. It's not like you have to worry Oh, that's Monika! It's not like you have to worry about impressing them or anything. Ahaha! Anyway, do you want to read my poem now? Don't worry, I'm not very good. You sound pretty confident for someone who claims to be not very good. Well, that's just 'cause I have to sound confident. That doesn't mean I always feel that way, you know? I see. Well, let's read it then. I am Monika and I am the best. Hole in wall. It couldn't have been me. See the direction that Spackle protrudes? A noisy neighbor? An angry boyfriend? I'll never know. I wasn't home. I peer inside for a clue. No, I can't see. I reel, blind, like a film left out in the sun. But it's too late. My retinas, already scourged with a permanent copy of the meaningless image. It's just a little hole. It wasn't too bright. It was too deep, stretching forever into everything. A hole of infinite chaos, or choices. A hole of infinite choices. I realize now that I wasn't looking in. I was looking out. And he, on the other side, was looking in. Aha! So, what do you think? It's very free-form, if that's what you call it. Sorry, I'm not really the right person to ask for feedback. It's okay. Yeah, that kind of style has gotten pretty popular nowadays. That is, a lot of poems have been putting emphasis on the timing between words and lines. When performed out loud, it can be really powerful. What was the inspiration behind this one? Well, I'm not sure if I know how to put it. I guess you could say I had some kind of epiphany recently. It's been influencing my poems a bit. An epiphany? Yeah, something like that. When I look at you, I get an epiphany. I'm kind of nervous to talk about deep stuff like that because it's kind of coming on strongly. Maybe after everyone is better friends with each other. Anyway, here's Monika's writing tip of the day. Sometimes when you're writing a poem or a story, your brain gets too fixated on a specific point. If you try so hard to make it perfect, then you'll never make any progress. Just force yourself to get something down on the paper and tidy it up later. Another way to think about it is this. If you keep your pen in the same spot for too long, you'll just get a big dark puddle of ink. So just move your hand and go with the flow. That's my advice for today. Thanks for listening. Thanks, Monika. Phew. I guess that's everyone. I glance around the room. That was a little more stressful than I anticipated. It's as if everyone is judging me for my mediocre writing abilities. No one judged you at all. Just Yuri did. Yuri was kind of like, oh yeah, amateur. But that's it. Even if they're just being nice, there's no way my poems can stand up to theirs. This is a literature club after all. I sigh. I guess that's what I ended up getting myself into. Across the room, Sayori and Monika are happily chatting. My eyes land on Yuri and Natsuki. They gingerly exchange sheets of paper, sharing their respective poems. As I read the tandem, I watch each of their expressions change. Natsuki's eyebrows furrow in frustration. Meanwhile, Yuri smiles sadly.
What's with this language?
Did you say something?
Oh, it's nothing.
Natsuki dismissively returns the poem to the desk with one hand.
I guess you could say it's fancy.
Thanks. Yours is cute.
Cute? Did you completely miss the symbolism or something? It's clearly about the feeling of giving up. How can that be cute?
I know that. I just meant the language, I guess. I was trying to say something nice.
You mean you have to try that hard to come up with something nice to say?
I gotta try not to scream because my parents are asleep. I'm like screaming. I'm like, I hope I don't wake anybody up.
Thanks, but it didn't really come out nice at all.
Well, I do have a couple suggestions.
Humph! If I was looking for suggestions, I would have asked someone who actually liked it. Which people did, by the way. Sayori liked it, and Miss did too. So based on that, I'll gladly give you some suggestions of my own. First of all,
Excuse me. I appreciate the offer, but I've spent a long time establishing my writing style. I don't expect it to change anytime soon, unless of course I come across something particularly inspiring, which I haven't yet.
ugh,
And Miss liked my poem too, you know. He even told me he was impressed by it. Natsuki suddenly stands up.
oh, I didn't realize you were so invested in trying to impress our new member, Yuri.
That's not what you're just...
Yuri stands up as well.
Maybe you're just jealous that Mist appreciates my advice more than he appreciates yours.
Huh? And how do you know he didn't appreciate my advice more? Are you that full of yourself?
No. If I was full of myself, I would deliberately go out of my way to make everything I do overly cutesy.
Is everyone okay? Well, you know what? I wasn't the one whose boobs magically grew a size bigger as soon as Mist started showing up.
Natsuki! Natsuki, that's a little...
This doesn't involve you.
I'm gonna love mixing that in post. I don't like fighting, guys. Suddenly, both girls turned towards me as if they just noticed I was standing there. Mist, she's just trying to make me look bad.
That's not true. She started it. If she could get over herself and learn to appreciate that simple writing is more effective, then this wouldn't have happened in the first place. What's the point of making your poems all convoluted for no reason? The meaning should jump out at the reader, not force them to have to figure it out. Help me explain that to her, Mist.
Wait. There's a reason why we have so many deep and expressive words in our language. It's the only way to convey complex feelings and meaning the most effectively. Avoiding them is not only unnecessarily limiting yourself, it's also a waste. You understand that, right, Mist?
Well?
How did I get dragged into this in the first place? It's not like I know anything about writing. Whomever I agree with, they'll probably think more highly of me. So of course that's gonna be okay. Well, I think I'm gonna end this episode of Doki Doki Literature Club here, and we shall continue in the next episode. So thank you guys so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, do what you want, and stay tuned for the next episode of Doki Doki Literature Club. Bye bye!